Hi, my name is Sparkle Greenhaw, and I am a counselor in the Counseling Center at Pepperdine University. And I would like to welcome you to the Greek system. I was a member of the Greek system at my university, and it was a really positive experience for me. And my hope is that that is true for you as well. Today, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about alcohol and drugs, and I hope that you will stay engaged and see if there's something that you already knew that you might be reminded of, or maybe some new information that you might pick up on today. I've been at Pepperdine for about 5 years, and I've worked in higher education a lot longer than that. And I know that this is a very important topic for us to discuss, and especially as a part of a new student or a new member of the Greek system. So I'm going to share my screen and start my PowerPoint and hope that you can follow along. Okay, I'm trying to make myself a little bigger here so you can see me. Okay, so in talking about alcohol and other drugs, why do we talk about that? We talk about it because it is truly something that can cause negative experiences for people, and we don't want that to be the case for you or for anyone in our community. And we know that there are approximately 1,500 deaths among college students regarding alcohol each year, approximately 700,000 physical assaults regarding alcohol for college students. Those are just the ones we know about. About 100,000 sexual assaults or date rapes among college students involving alcohol. And we know that that is vastly underreported because that is something that does tend to be underreported, and that about 35% of college students nationally engage in high risk drinking. And so we do want to make sure that you are safe, that our community is safe, and we don't want any of these things to happen to you or any of your brothers or sisters in your organization. So alcohol and COVID. We know that alcohol lowers the body's ability to fight disease. It can affect the lungs. And so we're going to all of these great lengths to wear masks and to social distance. And we don't want to do anything else that would cause ourselves to be more susceptible to get COVID, or for our symptoms to be even worse if we did. Also, that we know that during the pandemic, people have been a bit more isolated and social distanced. And for some people, that's meant boredom and using or drinking more out of boredom. For people who are prone to anxiety or depression, it could magnify that because this has been a stressful time, which may cause some people to self-medicate. But we really don't know yet, because there's not been enough research done to know how alcohol and COVID have gone together among the college community. They're just starting to come out with a few studies and a little bit of research, but we won't know yet. So I just encourage you to keep in mind that this could be a time where things could be more stressful, and we want to go to things that would be helpful in order to deal with that stress. So I want to test your knowledge. First question, are you ready? Which is true regarding Pepperdine student alcohol use? This is from our NCHA study that we do every 2 years, where students respond confidentially, automatically sent to an external company, and none of the information is paired with any specific student name. So, which is true? 12% of Pepperdine students reported no alcohol use in the past 30 days. 28%, 37%, or 45%? What do you think it is? Well, the right answer is 45%. So 45% of our students reported no alcohol use in the past 30 days when we did this particular survey. And so I think that's important to know, because it depends on who you're hanging out with as to whether or not you think that's true. You may hang out with no one who drinks. You may hang out with all people who drink. But that's why we want to give the facts to you about what actually is occurring. Next question. Which is true regarding Pepperdine student alcohol use in the lifetime? So A, 8% of Pepperdine students reported no alcohol use in their lifetime, 16%, 27%, or 31%. What do you think? The correct answer is 27%. So a little over a fourth of our students have had no alcohol in their lifetime. And this survey was sent out to freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and seniors. It was in spring of 2019, so that means some people were abroad at the time. Some people were living on campus. Some people were over 21. So it's all the undergraduate population. And even amongst all of those, a little over a fourth of our students said no alcohol use in their lifetime. Next question, true or false? A male and female who weigh the same amount are affected at an equal rate by alcohol. Do you know this? Well, the answer is false, and it has to do with hormone levels. It has to do with the amount of fat content in a female body versus a male body. And so females actually are more affected by alcohol at the same rate. That's why it's really dangerous for a male and a female to go toe-to-toe when they drink. Of course, it could be dangerous for both parties, but it's especially dangerous for the female because the female is going to be more affected. Next question, what's the best type of food to eat if you choose to drink? Fiber, sugar, protein, or carbs? The answer is protein. You know, this is an answer that, a question that people typically get wrong. A lot of people think it's carbs, but it's actually protein. And it's most effective when a person eats before or during the time that they're drinking. They can eat after they drink, but it's not going to affect a person's ability to sober up. If they eat before or during the time of drinking and they eat protein, then they are going to be able to metabolize the alcohol a lot better. Next question, what is a standard drink? 12 ounces of beer or hard seltzer, 4 to 5 ounces of wine, 1 shot of hard liquor, 1 red Solo cup of party punch, or A, B, and C? The answer is A, B, and C. And so it does vary according to the amount of alcohol in each individual drink, but on average, hard seltzer and beer are equal. So for a standard drink size, it's 12 ounces. So if it's a can or bottle, you can actually look at the can or bottle to see how many ounces are in that. If you're drinking draft, you'll have to know, or out of a red cup, you got to know how big the cup is to know how many drinks you're actually consuming. 5 ounces of wine, or 1 shot of hard liquor. So if you're drinking mixed drinks, it depends on how many shots of hard liquor, how many ounces are in that mixed drink. So as how many drinks that actual cup or glass or bottle of alcohol counts for. So when we talk about that, you know, one of the new trends out there are that there are canned alcohol and canned cocktails, including wine in cans now. And so what's the drink size of that? And the answer is it depends, and you got to do some math. So I put on here, I'll give you a second to take out your phones, take a screenshot of this particular website, rethinkingdrinking.niaaa.nih.gov, or if you just Google rethinking drinking, it has a blood alcohol calculator on there and a drink size calculator so that you can look and see. Because on these particular drinks, it depends on the amount of alcohol content that's in them, what they're mixed with, how big the can or bottle is. And so this is a new thing that has come out that people are going to have to do a little bit of math on in order to figure out how many drinks am I consuming at a time. So we recommend that people drink, no drinks is the best choice, but if you do choose to drink, women to drink no more than 3 drinks per occasion, males to drink no more than 4 drinks per occasion, but anything less than that is even better, and to drink no more than a couple times a week at the most. What about red Solo cups? Well, they used to be, and you may have heard this in the past, that on this left diagram over here, that you could count on these lines on the Solo cups to tell you what the drink size was. Sorry, that's a little blurry, but it used to be that for a standard Solo cup, this was a standard drink size of beer, or 12 ounces. This was one of wine, and this was one of hard liquor. However, this is a 16-ounce Solo cup. This is what Solo cups look like now, and they are actually 18 ounces, and they don't have those lines on them anymore. Also, there are red Solo cups that are not Solo, that are a different brand, that are 20 ounces, some that have scallop sizes. And so it used to be that you could kind of eyeball the cup and be able to see how many ounces that you're consuming or how many drinks you're consuming at a time. Now you got to be careful about that and be aware of how much alcohol you're consuming when it comes to those red cups. What is the biphasic effect? And I know the yellow line on here is a little difficult to see, but the idea of this is, it's called the point of diminishing returns. It means that that more alcohol doesn't mean more fun. That there's a point where you may be having a positive experience, but then the more alcohol that is consumed, the more negative experiences that happen. So maybe a person may begin to do something risky. They may get dizzy. They may say something they didn't mean. They may get angry, or they may be difficult to talk to, or they may just not be listening. They could hook up with someone. They could drink and drive. I mean, there's lots of things that people could do. And so the myth is, oh, if 2 drinks feels great, then let's drink 4 and I'll feel twice as good. But the fact is, there is that point of diminishing returns that has been studied, that more alcohol doesn't equal more fun. There may be a peak moment. It's usually about 2 or 3 drinks. It could be less than that. And then after that, the negative outweighs the positive. So another question, which choice typically leads to the best outcome? I may have given you a hint about this a few minutes ago. A, stop drinking when you begin to feel the effects of alcohol. B, not drinking alcohol. C, drinking out of tiny cups. D, drinking as much as you want as long as you're not driving. And E, the buddy system. Okay, the key here is best, which is the best outcome, and that is not drinking alcohol. That sounds a little cliche. It sounds like a black and white thinking, but it's really the truth, that you can actually study the amount of alcohol consumed versus negative experiences, and you can see that the less someone drinks, the less likely they are to experience any negative experiences. So, what are signs of alcohol poisoning? I put this one in red because, of course, it's very important. Slowed or irregular breathing, inability to wake up, vomiting while unconscious, cold or clammy skin, B and C, or all of the above. And the answer is all of the above. And so don't get too hung up on if somebody has 1 of these or 2 of these. You know, the fact is, if someone is quote unquote passed out, that means they're unconscious. Being just passed out is a myth. If someone is not responsive or is only partially responsive, or they have any of these things, please call for help. Please call to make sure that they get the help that they need. And if you're concerned about someone's alcohol or drug use, including your own, you can contact our office. But if it's an immediate emergency, if you're concerned about their use currently, they have any of those signs of alcohol poisoning, please call 911. Or if you're on campus, you can follow up with your RD, your RA, DPS, anyone like that. Better to call someone, have the paramedics come out and say, no, they're fine, than not to, and then be getting more intoxicated and you not even know it. Tolerance. So tolerance is the person's ability to handle their alcohol, or how much the effects of alcohol have on someone. So a low tolerance, which is a positive thing, means that a person cannot drink very much alcohol without feeling the effects. A high tolerance is a scary thing, because that means a person can drink more and not feel it as much. And then that means that their body is being deceptive and not communicating with them when they've had too much to drink. So there's this new research that's come out on the location of where you are when you drink has something to do with tolerance. So this is a study by Siegel in 2011, the situational specificity of tolerance. And it talks about if alcohol is presented in a manner divorced from the usual alcohol-associated stimuli, the effects of alcohol are enhanced. So if you're used to drinking in a certain location, if you drink in a certain location with certain people, your body's going to anticipate that alcohol, and your central nervous system is going to speed up to anticipate it. But if you change locations, if you have moved to a new house, or you've moved to campus, or you're no longer living with your parents, or you go abroad, that new location could mean that your body isn't anticipating the alcohol coming. And so your body doesn't speed up in preparation for it, and the alcohol could hit you much faster. And that is the point in where people have some life or death situations, when they're drinking with new people in a new location, where they don't have that tolerance built up. And so there's a lot more research out there on there, but I did just want to mention that to you. So what's a policy? What are the parts of the Good Samaritan policy? And that is to call, stay, and cooperate. So you could look into that in the policy, but if you are concerned about someone's immediate alcohol use and you want to call for help for them, and you don't want to get in trouble yourself, if you've been drinking, you don't want to get them in trouble, all you've got to do is call for help for them, stay with them, and then cooperate with the university if the university is involved anyway, and you will not receive an alcohol violation. It will be part of the Good Samaritan policy for both you who called and for the person who you called for. And that's a flyer that has more information on it. So what are tips to stay safe regarding alcohol? You may have some of these that you already know about or you've seen people use. But here's just a few. Keep track of how much you're drinking. Know how much you're drinking, not just to start drinking and not know. That's why we talked about standard drink size, so that you would know exactly how much alcohol that you or another person is consuming. So to count and measure your drinks. Set goals. So maybe you say, okay, tonight I'm just going to have, excuse me, I'm just going to have wine. I'm just going to have one drink. Or tonight I'm not going to drink at all. Or I want to save some money, so I'm not going to spend any money on alcohol this weekend. And that means just to decide ahead of time what you're going to do. Don't just get there and just see how it goes, because sometimes that's when people get into trouble. Pace and space your drinks. No more than one drink per hour. Drink water in between drinks. Drink food. We talked about protein being an important food to drink, food to eat. Finding alternatives, meaning drink a soda, drink something else. Find something else to do instead of drinking. Plan an activity if you're used to drinking on Tuesday nights, then plan something on Tuesday night so that you're not even going to be there and be around those people that might trigger you to drink. Don't drink any party punch. You never know what's in it. You never know what's been put in it, and you cannot measure the amount of alcohol that's in it. And sometimes it doesn't taste very much like alcohol, depending on what's in there. So lots of people end up with alcohol poisoning from drinking a mixture of different kinds of drinks that are put together at a party. Know your no, meaning that be ready to say no and how you're going to say it. If someone offers you a drink and you're out with them or you're at someone's apartment, know what you're going to say if you don't want to. Just be like, no, man, I got to get up early in the morning, or yeah, I'm really trying to count my calories. Or yeah, I just need to be clear-headed in the morning, get some good sleep, or I'm allergic. Whatever you need to say, know what that is so that you don't get stuck feeling uncertain and not knowing what to say. Low-risk drinking, like we talked about, and then consider no alcohol. So how do we connect with others while keeping ourselves safe? You know, this is a time where some people, you've been isolated perhaps, or you've been social distancing for quite some time. So how do you make friends? How do you connect with your new fraternity and sorority members, possibly in person, while keeping yourself safe? And so I would just say, here's some tips to get involved. Look at the Student Activities website, look at Discord, find ways to meet with people over Zoom, make weekend plans, and the plans don't have to involve alcohol. They can be alternative kinds of things. Go hiking, go to the beach, get coffee, whatever those things are, join a gym. Exchange contact info with at least one person in each of your classes. That way you've got a personal connection with each of those people, and you can make friends that way. And then if you happen to miss class, you can get their notes. FaceTime, Snapchat, Marco Polo, any of those things, TikTok maybe, but any of those things that keep you connected with other people virtually if you're in a place where you're unable to see people face to face. Doing things like watching a movie together, saying, okay, hey, with a friend, hey, I know you're in Arizona and I'm here, but let's watch this show on Netflix tonight and talk about it, or live text while you're watching it. You can do that with Netflix. You can read a book with you and a friend and then discuss. You can both decide you're going to listen to a certain podcast and then discuss. Play games, and then what are other things too that you can do to connect with others that don't involve alcohol? Or if they do involve alcohol, it's in a way that's safe. So our counseling center offers telehealth appointments, so it's over Zoom, and it's in a confidential, encrypted way. We don't charge for counseling services. It's confidential, so we don't share any information except required by law. And we do alcohol and drug assessments. So that means if you just want a little feedback on your alcohol or drug use, you can call or email our office and request to talk with a counselor over Zoom to get some feedback on that in a confidential way. And then here's our contact information. You can call or email us to get in touch with us. You can Google Counseling Center Pepperdine or look on the Pepperdine website to find out the information. You can follow us on Instagram, which I encourage you to do, and then there's our website as well. So Pepperdine Counseling Center is our Instagram handle. I do hope that, let me stop sharing. I do hope that this experience for you being a GREET member is everything that you hoped that it would be. And I hope that you will use it as an opportunity to really get to know some new people and to, especially during this time, because I think that it can be a little difficult to try to make new friends and meet people. And so by you reaching out and being a part of the GREET community, it's going to have benefits for you. It's also going to be a way for you to connect. And so I do wish you well, and know that you can contact us in the Counseling Center anytime if you need anything from us. Take care.